Okay, so on a GCC deployed iPad, and most of you will have done this already, the first thing to make sure you've done is to download the Teams app. So I'm just scrolling along with, and the self-service app with the little coloured square just at the top kind of left-hand corner. I'm going to tap on that, and then that's where the deployed, the approved apps are, sorry. So you'll see that as we scroll down, we've got the Teams one, which is the purple icon. Now, there's been a few kind of software updates on the iPad, and there's also some app updates. So just make sure that you're constantly looking back at that. You might have to reinstall. Some of the apps like Keynote and things like that have just had an update. So that's how we would get that onto our deployed iPad. And when you first access that, it will ask you to put in your Glow login, which is obviously just what you log into with Glow. And that will automatically sync your calendar and everything like that onto your Teams. So I'm just going to go onto Teams just now on my iPad, which is the little purple icon at the top. And I'm going to tap on that just now. I'm just going to go back. So you should see my screen just now. You can see straight away if you're using Teams on the desktop or the laptop, it does obviously look a little bit different. So I'm going to tap on Activity, which is down at the bottom of your iPad screen, and you'll notice that you have your some of your features down at the bottom. So you've got Activity, you've got Chats, you've got Teams, Assignments. Prior to my update, I didn't have my calls and files down at the bottom, but when I did the update, then it appeared. Richard, I'm just checking. A few people were saying they can't hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, Laura.
Yeah, you're fine.
There's maybe a wee lag. So down at the bottom, you can see we've got Activity, Chat, Teams, etc. So I've tapped on Activity just now, and up at the top left-hand corner, you can see three little lines. So I'm going to tap on that just now, and that kind of brings up your profile. So you've got your little picture. You can put a bit of emoji or whatever in there. If I tap on that, I've got the option to upload a little picture. I'm going to go back. I'm going to tap on those three lines again. You can have the option to turn your notifications on and off. So if you want your notifications to come on when you receive a request or a message. If I go into Settings, which is a little kind of cog, I'm going to tap on that just now. And again, you've got the option to add your notifications. Now, if you're using this with pupils, this might be quite a good feature to use. So when you go into notifications, you've got the option to add, to take off or to put on your quiet hours, which means you can, turn off your notifications between a certain time. So that might be something that you want to do as well. And you can also turn on and off your notifications for chats, mentions, etc. A bit like having notifications on your mobile device as well. So I'm going to come off that just now, and I'm just going to take you through some of the features down at the bottom of your iPad screen. So we've got an activity there, so that's all your kind of notifications, if you like, everything that's happened quite relatively soon. When you tap on Feed, you can change that to My Activity, and that shows you everything that you have recently posted as well. So again, going down to the bottom of the iPad screen, some people were asking there, should they be seeing me just now? No, they should be seeing the iPad screen just now, just so we can talk you through everything that's in it. So down at the bottom of the screen, you've got the chat option. You can see there's a wee red bubble just now, and that tells me I've got a notification. But when I go into chats, that's all the kind of private chats that you can have with colleagues. Up at the top, there's looks like a little bit of paper and a pencil. I'm going to tap on that, and that's where you can pop in whoever you would like to start the chat with. So if I type in one of my colleagues, Emma, I've started a chat with her. Now up at the top right-hand corner, you can see there's a little video icon and a phone icon. So if you wanted to start a chat just individually with that person, you can tap on those and start that as well. So that's the chat function. Down at the bottom of the screen again, I'm going to tap on my Teams this time. And you can see straight away that your teams, when you're using a laptop or computer, kind of all congregate in the middle, like they look like little icons almost. But on the iPad, it's a bit different. So you've got all your teams down the side. So you can see I've got the Leaders of Learning team, the Digital Mentors. Now, to add or to join a team, up at the very top there, you can see the word teams, and there's a little icon of 2 people with a little plus sign. So I'm going to tap on that just now. And that's where you can create a team. So you might want to create a team for pupils or colleagues or departments. You can also join a team with a code. So if I tap on that just now, that's where you would pop in the team code. Now, unfortunately, on the iPad, you don't have the option to generate that code that you do when you're using a desktop version. But if you create your team on the desktop, you can then share that code, which is what we've done for today's webinars and the Coffee Break webinars. So I'm just going to tap on the Leaders of Learning team just now. That's one that I created for the group that I work with. And you can see when I tap on that, it pops up underneath the general channel. So these are called your channels. You've got your general channel, which comes up anytime you create your team. But underneath it, you can see I've got a Glasgow Counts and a Literacy for All channel. And that's because we have our general channel for our kind of general conversations and meetings. But obviously we work in 2 teams, 2 work streams, and we have Glasgow Counts and Literacy for All. So therefore, some of the girls might want to have a meeting in their specific channel. They might want to share ideas. Right now we're creating content for the Glasgow Times. So there's been lots of sharing of clips and ideas. So it just makes it a little bit more organised. So if you're working in a secondary department or even a primary and you want to split it into stages, that might be a good use of using the channel button as well. Okay, so that is what our teams looks like. It's displayed at the side, it's broken into channels. You can see the Glasgow City Council webinar. What we did yesterday is we split it into the Coffee Break webinar so everybody knows where they're going, and that's basically what they look like. So if I'm going to go down just now to my test team webinar, which I created last night, and I'm going to tap on my general, so it takes me right in to the team. Now, the side where it says test team webinar, just at the left-hand side, there's 3 little dots. I'm going to tap on that just now, and you've got the option to manage members, to manage tags, channels, leave the team, edit the team, or delete the team. So that is where, if I tap on manage members, I can add in more members of the team. We've got that little plus icon at the top, and you can add members into that team as well. So this is a team that I created last night, but just to take you through how you would create a team on the iPad. So right up at the very top again, beside the word teams, we've got the 2 little people and the plus icon, and I'm going to create a team just now. So it gives you the option to create a class, a professional learning community, staff, or other. Now, if you create a class, that will unlock the assignment feature on Teams, which we won't really look at in depth today, but Richie McComb is doing a webinar next week, and he's going to speak about that. For the webinars that we created a professional learning community. So when I tap on that, it gives me the option to add in my team name and also a little description. So if I just pop in test, click on done, you then have the option to start adding people into that team. So you can manually add them in as well, rather than sharing the code. That's how you would create your team on the iPad. So I'm just scrolling down my teams at the left-hand side, and I'm going to go back into my test team webinar. And to communicate or anything like that in the team, you'll see there is a new post kind of bar down at the right-hand side. When I tap on new post, that is where I can write my messages, I can add pictures. So I can, for example, if I wanted to write hello, so I'm starting to write hello, you can see just above my keyboard on the iPad, there's some words that have started to pop up. So I've got hey and I've got hello, and that's quick type. So that's a feature that can also help your pupils as well if they're communicating via Teams, to help them kind of create their message. So I'm just starting to write again. So you'll see there's more words popping up, and that's a feature that can be used to help them as well. So just pop that message in just now. Anytime you want to send a message, that little kind of purple aeroplane icon to the side. I'm going to tap on that, and that's posted my message into the team. Beside the message, you'll see there's 3 little dots. I'm going to tap on them just now. So you can react to messages, a bit like Facebook reactions. You can copy it, you can save, you can edit the message or delete the message as well. I'm going to go back to typing a new message just to the bottom. And you'll see I've also got the option to add in a picture. So I can add something from the library. I can add in a GIF, so a kind of little animated picture. The paperclip is something that might be of interest if you're having departmental meetings, school improvement plan, looking at anything like that. So if I tap on that, that gives me the option to add in files. Now, some people asked last time we did this if you can add straight from OneDrive. So at the top where it says downloads, beside it says iCloud Drive, because that's what I'm in just now. So if I tap on that and keep going back, you'll see then I've got my option where it says locations. If you just look down, I've got my OneDrive, so I can add straight from OneDrive. I'm going to go back just now because I want to add in this document here. So this is the digital learning strategy. It's a PDF document. Anything you add into your team, to your channel, will automatically then go into your files. So at the top, you'll see you've got posts, files, and more. If I go to files, that has went straight into there. You'll see at the very bottom of your iPad screen to the far right, there's also an option for files, and that's just another way to access all files that were shared on Teams. So I'm going to go back into posts, and I'm going to open this PDF just now. So if you were sending or sharing something with a colleague or with pupils, then they can access and open these documents as well. So I'm going to take you through some of the features just now that you can use when you open these documents. So if you have a pupil who perhaps was unsure of a definition of a word, they can hold on to the word, they can drag it so it's the whole face, and you'll notice that there's some bubbles that have popped up at the top. So we've got copy, select all. We're going to use the lookup function. So when I tap on that, it gives me the definition of that word. It also gives you suggested websites as well. So you can do that with your documents that you share. I'm going to tap on it again, and you'll see I've got the option this time to speak. Oh, it's not letting me do it. Try again. There we go. So when I tap on speak, it tells you the word in a lovely, lovely voice. So you've got those different options as well that children can use or colleagues can use when sharing and accessing documents as well. I'm just going to tap on the little cross at the top and come back out of there. I'm going to tap on type a new message, and you can see that there's a little @ sign beside the paperclip. If you're in a team with maybe everyone in your department, but you want to notify someone specifically, you can tap on the @ and start writing there below. Now, obviously, nothing's coming up just now because I'm in the team myself, but if you're in a team with colleagues, their kind of hyperlink usernames would start to come up there as well. You can see as well when at the type a new message just underneath, so I'm going right along, I've got the little paperclip, the @ sign, the capital A, the 3 dots. To the far right, there's a little microphone. If you use WhatsApp, I know a lot of people send voice notes on WhatsApp, but if you tap on that, usually what would happen, obviously we can't see now because we're in a call, but you have the option to record a voice note, which you can then send into the team. So say it was quite a long message you wanted to send, it might be quicker to record a voice note to add into the team as well. On your iPad keyboard as well, down at the very bottom where the spacebar is, to the left of that there's a little microphone, and again you can also hold that in. Again, it's not working great just now because we're on a call, but you can hold that in, or pupils can hold that in, say the word, and it would generate it for them as well. So that's another accessibility feature that they could use too. So that is the keyboard, and also how to post messages, etc. Up at the top right hand corner, you'll notice there is a little bell with a line through it, and that tells me that my notifications for that channel are off just now. So if I tap on that, I've got the option to change it to all new messages in this channel, so I would get a little notification when that happens. So it's always good just to make sure that's on, so that you see and hear everything that's happening in the channel. Now, at the bottom of your screen, you will see beside Teams, you have assignments. Now, again, I'm just going to tap on that just now, but I'm not going to go into that too much today because, as I say, Richie will look at that next Thursday. You only have the assignment option if you have a class set up on Teams, not a professional learning community or staff. And when I tap on my test class, go to next. You'll see up at the top right-hand corner, there's a little plus sign. I'm going to tap on that. And you have the option to add a new assignment or a quiz. Now, the quiz is generated from Google Forms, which I know a lot of, for example, our challenge leaders of learning use Google Forms quite a lot to gather people's views for their triangulation of data for the HIGIOP and things like that. So you can use Google Forms, that's kind of embedded in it as well. But as I say, Richie will look at that more in depth next week with you. Now, yesterday, Richard looked at video conferencing, which is what a lot of people are doing now in the current situation. So at the very bottom, again, of your screen, you've got your calendar. Now, what will happen is when you log into Teams, the Teams app, it will sync your calendar on Glow. So everything should come up there. You should get a wee notification for things that have been created. For example, this calendar entry here I created on my Glow on my computer at work, but it has been synced to my iPad. So at the very kind of far left of your screen, you have calendar at the very top. There's a little magnifying glass and there's a little calendar with a plus sign. So if you wanted to set up a meeting like today, for example, so this is what I did yesterday. I went into the little plus sign at the top and I gave the meeting a title. So it might be staff meeting. Now you can manually add in your participants. So you can add in their emails if you want to set up a meeting specifically, or you can share it to a channel. So that's what I did for today's webinar. Instead of manually adding people in, because we've got so many members, I shared it to a channel. So you can see all of my teams and my channels popped up, and you just tap on whatever one you want to share it to. And just like today, what will happen is that little join button will pop up on the channel and people can then join it. Now, as I scroll down, you can see I can change the date and the time as well, so people have an idea. It goes straight into their calendar and syncs, as we said before, syncs to their Google Calendar too. So I'm going to tap on cancel just now, because obviously I don't want to start that just now. Now, as I said yesterday, I did not have the calls and files function down at the bottom of my iPad. That's just appeared overnight. But if I tap on calls just now, you'll see you've got the option to create new calls, and also the files option at the sides to the far right. So that's all the files that have been shared on Teams just now as well. So they're all there too. Just above where it says assignments, there's a little kind of grey shape. So if I hold that and kind of scroll that up, you can see that I also have straight access to my camera and any kind of saved files. And to be honest, I've not really used that before. I've not really had the need to use it, but it is there just in case you swipe up and think, what is that? So I'm going to hold that and drag that right down just now as well. I'm going to go back to my Teams, just tap on Teams at the bottom. Now, something that you might want to do, and again, this is a feature that's built into the iPad, is to be in a team, but also possibly be reading out an email or a document or something like that. So instead of coming in and out of your team all the time, there's an option to split your screen. So at the bottom of your screen, I'm just dragging up just now. So I'll put that back down and I'll drag it up again. And you can see there's 5 different icons, and those are the 5 that I've been in most recently. So if you wanted to, for example, open your Safari, which is the icon to the far left that looks like a compass, if I want to pop that into a split screen, say I wanted to be in my meeting, but also be reading out an article to staff or to be sharing or to be doing whatever. So I would hold on to that little Safari icon and I would pull it right out and I would pull it to my screen. So you can see my screen changes quite slightly there. I've got it there, I'm going to let it go. And there I've got my team on the left-hand side, which I can use. I can scroll through. And I've also got my Safari open as well. So you can have your split screen function there to be doing 2 things at once, as many teachers do all the time. To get rid of it, I'm just going to hold on the little grey shape at the top of my Safari page. I'm going to bring it into the middle and I'm going to swipe up like that. So that gets rid of it as well. So that's another feature that you could use when using your Teams. I'm going to come out of Teams just now and I'm going to go into my settings on my iPad. I just want to show you some of the features that you could use that are transferable into your Teams. So I'm going to tap on settings and I'm going to scroll down to accessibility. So there's lots of different features. We looked at these at the Teams webinar we did a few weeks ago, but they're very beneficial for colleagues and for learners. And the first one I'm going to look at is display and text size. So if I tap on that, you'll see I've got bold text. So if I tap on that, I can change the text to bold. I've got larger text, which is what I'm going to tap now. And that little kind of line, I'm going to hold on to the circle and I'm going to scroll that to the top, and you can see that my text size has changed. So if I come out and go back into Teams, that should have also happened there. Yes, it has. So if you want to make the text larger to see, then that is a way to do it. I'm going to go back into my settings just now. I'm going to change that back to that size, and I'm going to go back as well. Now, if I scroll down my accessibility menu, you'll see there is an option for colour filters. Now, this is something that can be used for pupils as well to support, or colleagues as well. So if I tap on colour filters, I've got the option to turn that on just now. Now, what's happened, and I'm not sure if it would have changed on your screen, but my screen has changed to a different colour filter. So just to make it really accessible, you can change the filters on it as well. So I'm going to turn that off just now. And again, it may or may not have shared that, but it may be worthwhile having a wee play about as well to see. You can also turn the brightness off. I know my head and my eyes have been very, very sore lately because of the amount of screen time that I've been having. So you can turn the brightness down as well. So it's just something that might be quite beneficial for people to use. I'm going to come back out of that just now. So those accessibility features are in the settings and under accessibility, and they're great to have a wee kind of look at as well. I'm going to come back out of that just now, and I'm going to open up my Safari, because I've got 2 pages that I'd like to show you just now before we finish off. So when you log into Go, and the last time we showed this, it was great because it was a flurry of emails of people who were registering. On your Launchpad, hopefully you will have the Connected Learning Teachable tile, which is a fantastic tile to look at. It has lots of content that's been created by teachers for teachers, which is fantastic. So if I tap on that just now, it will ask you, if you haven't done so before, to register just with your Go email, and then it will remember your login. So there's lots of online little courses just now that you can work your way through. There's things like Apple Teacher, there's the moderation cycle. At the present moment, the Literacy Throw and Glasgow Counts team, as well as the GDSS and Educational Film Alliance, are creating content as well. So watch this space, there'll be lots of other content added. When it says find a course, I'm just going to type in Teams just now, because there are 4 courses that are currently on Connected Learning. So there's Teams in the Classroom, a calendar, and there's 2 teams on the iPad courses. And the great thing about the Teachable is you just kind of work your way through it at your own pace. You can go back to it as well. So there's lots of great content on there too. So that's just something to have a wee think about. Now, as we mentioned at the beginning of the webinars, Richard has shared a Glow form which hopefully should work today. So for every webinar, there'll be a little registration form. But when you go to your CPD manager, what should happen? Every week, Jane Rowe has an update of some of the courses that are happening. If I go to my record and I want to add a new activity, what should happen when I tap an activity template? You can see the courses from this week, so the little webinars. So Sophie's one from Monday, Digital Literacy and the BDE curriculum. Richard's one from yesterday, the conferencing and using Teams on the iPad as well, and Lisa's one is there for tomorrow, the collaborating in Teams and sharing content on OneDrive. So it just makes it really simple to add that into your CPD record too. So I can see the time's 10:58, we're almost finished. I hope that was a little bit helpful today. Obviously, if there's any questions that have popped up even before we finish, we can feel free to give me a wee message or a tweet or an email. I'm more than happy to support you in any way I can, and I know the team are as well. So yeah, anything else at all, just let me know. So thank you very much for tuning in today. I think it was a bit smoother, so fingers crossed it stays that way. And I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you're all safe and well and have a lovely day. Richard, is there anything else you can think of about tomorrow's webinar or anything else?
Can you hear me, Laura?
Yep, I can hear you.
I think it's just to remember everybody when they're entering to have their microphones and just help.
Really bad.
Excellent. I know there's a lot in it, and I know a lot of people are asking about the speed of everything. The video will be recorded and we'll put it on the remote learning blog site.
Perfect. Tomorrow's webinar is Lisa, and she is looking at using Teams to collaborate and share it with OneDrive. So same as today, we'll put the join request and the banner into the coffee break webinar so that everybody can access that as best you can. Okay. So thank you very much. As Richard said, it will be recorded. We're hoping to get all the recordings up for the week by Friday. But anything else, please just stay in touch. So to come out